Cinema.
Welcome back to War with Cinema. I'm your host, Greg, your local metalhead, and with me is...
Part of the collector. What's going on, everybody?
What are we doing today?
Your pick.
Yep,
Yeah,
my pick.
sorry to bother you.
Yeah.
And I feel bad that I don't know this guy's name because I love him in Atlanta. I don't know if you ever watched that show. We've talked about it with Donald Glover. Great fucking show. But this movie, wow.
LaKeith Stanfield.
LaKeith Stanfield. He is a good actor. He played Snoop Dogg in Straight Outta Compton. He did a great job in that shit, too.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah, he can act, bro. The dude can really act.
Yeah, he can.
But, like...
The reason we did this movie is because you actually asked for it.
I did, because when I watched the preview for it, and you hear him use his white voice, it's David Cross, and David Cross is funny as shit, too, in his own way.
Right.
And I just thought it was hilarious watching him, like, kind of pantomime, you know what I mean? And I was like, well, that movie looks like it's going to be funny. But it wasn't in theaters very long.
No, I don't think it did
and
very
now
well.
I know why. I fucking know why, dude.
So this is a absurdist dark comedy.
It is crazy fucking movie, dude. Like, it's up there.
I watched it again to get like a refresher because I haven't seen it in a little bit, and I loved it even more. Like, I love this movie.
I don't know why you bought it, let alone why you bought it on fucking Blu-ray.
I seen a lot of I follow a lot of movie reviewers, and I seen this one pop up time and time again, and I don't like to get spoiled with certain movies, and since I seen this one so much, I was at Blockbuster, and they had it for like $11 on the Blu-ray, and I'm just like, I want to see it. It's on Blu-ray for $11. I'm not going to get a better deal than that unless I go do what you do.
Right.
But I'm not going to find this out there. So I'm like, fuck it. Let me see about it.
Damn.
And I watched it and I fucking loved it. And I'm so glad I bought it.
Like the first hour of this movie, I'm down. I'm fucking with it. Like, I love it. It's a good. It's kind of like a. I don't know how to say it, like an economic, you know what I'm saying? Like a social class type of, you know what I mean? Like it's showing like, you know, there's people up here and then there's people down here, the workers.
It's talking about the problems that we have with capitalism.
Right. There you go. Like, I'm not very knowledgeable when it comes to a lot of shit like that.
Right. But you know the problems.
But I see what they're going for when they're doing it. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. But it, you know, it had nice little jabs at you know, at what we do, you know, to get by, and like some of the things that like we have to hate every day, but we still go do it.
Mm-hmm.
Movies about this guy, Cash.
Cassius Green.
Cassius Green. There
Which
you
I
go.
thought was fitting.
Yeah, that was a good little thing. This movie was well made. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
did you know this is I didn't do any of the director things, but it's directed by Boots Riley, which he's been in. He's been doing music for most of his life, and this is his breakout film.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's an audience for it, but like maybe it went a lot of this. I don't know, man. I'm just taking it for what I literally saw, and there was a lot of shit going on in that movie.
Well, if we had to like synopsize it, because my wife was saying like you guys really need to like condense your synopsizing. This guy's hard in his luck, needs a job. He finds a job, starts to move up the corporate ladder.
That was that was a hilarious scene though, when the dude's like, he brought a fucking trophy that he got made that he said he won in high school, and then a fucking Employee of the Month plaque for a restaurant he never worked at. It was fucking great. Like, and then the guy called him out on all of that shit. Like, when have you ever, like, you know, people go to job interviews and, you know, you say this and that and you're there, like, nobody ever really calls.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but
this dude did his homework and he was like, "You're full of shit, but you showed me anything with the one thing I need to know.
You're a salesman.
You're a salesman. You're hungry. You're ready to get it."
Exactly. So he moves up the corporate ladder, realizes how awful the corporate ladder is, and, you know, goes back to his finding himself. I really resonated with this movie a lot. It really like spoke to me because it's something that I struggle with constantly is your identity. You can either keep your identity or move up the corporate ladder, lose that identity, and become a penguin suit, you know, kind of person. Like, all you're doing is appeasing these people for capital, for money. Like,
I always looked at it like this, man. You want to make more money, you have to know how to do something that not everybody can do.
Mm-hmm. But that's the thing. It's like, you're either a one-off, like you created something by a fluke, or you move up the corporate ladder, which most people are going to do. They're going to find a good, you know, a good company to work for and then try to get as high as they can. And
Right.
that's what this movie's trying to say is, like you can either keep yourself identity or lose that identity to become
to
like
be
wealthy.
Successful, yeah.
Right. And that's something that I always struggle with because it's like, man, I want to make more money, but I don't want to answer to these people, and because that's where the white voice thing comes in. Don Glover's character teaches him. He's like, hey, man.
I love Donald Glover's little cameo in this movie. It was hilarious.
I know, I loved it too.
Young blood, use your white voice.
Yeah. tells him I'm like talking over this movie. You're supposed to be talking about it, but I'm so excited and I love this movie, so I'm gonna give it back to you. You talk about it.
I mean, like I said, he goes to work for the telemarketing place,
right?
And everybody's like, stick to the script, make it your own.
And I worked at a call center. And they had the same thing. Like, they had a script that you had to follow, and I never followed it because it's very rude, abrasive. It's very like,
because you just got to get it out there before they hang up on you.
It's to the point, and it's very. I didn't like it at all. So I tried to do my own thing. I was very friendly, very. I gave them not what they wanted, but I worked with them. Like, tried to be friendly, tried to be, I don't know.
It's like got to be one of the most hated jobs on earth.
Most definitely. I got cussed out literally every day.
Oh, yeah, you're going to. Because, like, the people that do answer, like, they're ready. Like, you know what I mean? They want to make you pay for fucking making that call.
Right. So
you're going to take me off that list, motherfucker.
Right. So I had the lowest handle time. I made the most money. I talked to the most people. Yeah, I always failed my evaluation because I didn't follow the script. Yeah, I was making more everything and everything else.
But that's kind of cool though, because like you were still finding a way to make money, but you were still bucking the system.
Right.
So that is cool. But I mean, obviously you grew out of that shit. But like, I have actually known a couple people that have telemarketed for a job, and nobody has ever told me anything good about it. Like,
no, it's not good.
Like, oh yeah, that was a good time of my life. Like, I really enjoyed that job. Like, no. Everybody's like, man, that shit is soul crushing.
Yeah, it is.
A tiny fucking cubicle with like another 20, 30, 50 people around you. It's like, it's miserable.
And it looks exactly like that too.
Yeah. It's like Office Space, but even worse.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
So I just wanted to say, like, I experienced it and it's exactly like that.
Right. But the guy, he gets to that point where, that's how they keep all the worker bees going, is telling them, like, one day you go through the gold elevator and go be a, what do they call them?
Power caller.
Power caller,
But before that, they have a new manager, and she's talking about how we're a team. Like, she's like, I'm not your boss. You're not my workers. We're one and one. We work off each other, like, whatever. And
synergy. Y'all feel it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's what the corporate world is trying to do, because I actually worked at a job before the one we're working at now, and they would say that. They're like, we're a family.
Right.
Like, I'm not your boss. You're not my worker. We work together. And that's what they're trying to do. They're like trying to, like, what'd she say? She says social currency is better than, capital.
She's like, look it up. It's trending. Like,
yeah, and it's like, really? That can't pay my bills.
And he says, so does that mean we're going to make more money? And she said, well, no.
Exactly. Like, we're supposed to be on the same level, but I'm making less money than you? Fuck you.
Right.
So anyway,
well, I mean, that's all the workplace, really. But yeah, like, that's a lot of underlying themes in this movie.
A lot.
And I feel like I picked up a good bit of them, but shit, there's probably some I missed there too. Some of the things, like I said, the movie's a normal comedy, like for an hour of it.
Yeah.
Like I'm going with it. Like, it's silly in some points. And I loved how when he would make the calls, it would drop him down into the room.
Yeah, I love that.
And then when he started using the white voice. And by the way, David Cross did a great job. I'm sure that was a weird fucking phone call he got. Hey, man, I want you to be in my movie, but I don't want you to use your face at all. It's just your voice. You're going to be the white voice that a black dude uses to call people for telemarketing.
Well, I love that Donald Glover says that the white voice isn't just the white voice, because white people use the white voice too.
He said, not Will Smith white voice.
Yeah, he's like, it's what white people think they should sound like.
Yeah.
And so it's not really a white voice, it's just a successful voice. Yeah. Like, you sound like you have your bills paid, you don't have a worry in the world, kind of
you're on your way to the golf course, you're just making this call on the way out.
Yeah. Right, so even white people use the white voice. It's just a fake facade.
Yeah, well,
That was a bit
he
redundant.
does. No, he shows them the ropes or whatever, and then he does get the job. And I thought it was fucked up that when they got to the power collar floor, it's another black guy that comes out to meet him, and he's like, no, only white boys here.
Yep.
And he had to talk like that in front of everybody all day, like that shit.
Exactly. You have to wear this mask almost. You have to wear this mask if you want to be successful in certain companies. But before that, before he got this job, he was kind of a nobody. He wasn't good at anything. He's like, what's the point? What am I doing? Like, what am I doing with my life? And that's something I always struggle with too. It's like, I want to make an impression on the world. Like,
also shout out to Terry Crews. He had a good little part in this.
Fucking
that wig was hilarious. Like they just threw this fucking Jerry curl on him. I'm just dying because it's in Oakland.
Yeah.
So they're keeping it in Oakland.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just threw this Jerry curl. He's always in a tracksuit. It was fucking great. He only had like maybe 12 lines in the whole fucking movie. But
they were great.
Yeah, it's classic Terry Crews.
Yeah, he stole the scene.
You're my nephew, motherfucker. I'm letting you live in my garage.
But that's where when he does his white voice, he found something he's actually good at. That's why he becomes a power caller, because he found his,
and I mean, he's never had shit, so like he becomes successful. He gives his uncle the money because it's not. He's like, it ain't your little garage money that's got me bad. He's like, I'm behind on the whole house, And he gives his family the money. So at first he feels like he's doing real good. He picks his girl up in a new car. It's a Maserati, by the way. That's a big jump.
Yep.
From a hoopty to a Maserati. I was thinking like maybe a nice American made, like maybe an Impala or a Buick even. This guy went for it. Like,
yeah.
Fuck it, I'm getting a Mozzie.
Yeah. That's where the absurdist comes in. It just takes it to like the extreme of silliness.
And I'm all good with that, man. Like I said, I'm all dialed in. I said, you know what, Greg, you fucked up and gave me a good one.
I know you're like dying to talk about the second half of this movie, but
God, dude.
The first half is so important.
It is building it to it.
So he gets to the power collar, but there's another story happening in contrast. Is his girlfriend is a social activist
and artist,
and they're having a protest against the company that they work for. Like they want
company, yeah,
right. Well, no, the telemarketing company. They're like, we want livable wages.
Yeah, and then the company that they push the most for is Army Hammer's company.
Right.
Which, by the way, Army Hammer, fuck, dude. This is the craziest movie. I would never want to put him in this fucking movie, bro. And then he just went for it. Like, I know I'm getting ahead of myself or whatever, but like I gotta say that I enjoyed him. He was just fucking bananas. But anyway, go back to it. But
no, I'm just trying to set up everything so that when we talk about the payoff, there's
it's insane, dude. You never in a million years, if you put anybody to watch this movie, they will never fucking guess where this movie ends up.
Yeah,
never. Like you could have showed me, you could have told me 20 times, and I would have never have said, "Well, yeah, it's gonna be that."
Yeah, exactly.
It's fucking weird.
So she's she's an activist. She's basically Banksy.
Yeah, she's like
she's an artist.
Statues and all doing exactly. She holds a sign, makes like next to nothing.
Mm-hmm. But one thing that I noticed is I didn't even catch this the first time. Her activist name is Left Eye, and the guy. The black guy that's using the white voice that's showing him the ropes whenever he gets to power collar, he's wearing a patch over his left eye. He's turning a blind eye to the problems in the world. I was like, whoa, that's really like deep. I didn't catch that the first time around.
I didn't think about that. I just thought they were trying to make him look like a fucking James Bond villain. That guy's a good actor too. I don't know his name, but I remember he's been in some movies I've seen.
Mm-hmm. He actually doesn't have a name because they bleep it out.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy too.
Because he's completely lost his identity. He has no identity anymore.
Yeah, you see, that's what I'm saying. I knew there was something there, but it was just like, because they did that shit in Kill Bill. You didn't find out her name until like halfway through the second one.
Right.
Or maybe it's like 10 seconds into the second one, I think. But like, they bleep her name out through the whole first movie.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter. But that's the same with this. Like, it's showing that he's so high up that he doesn't have an identity anymore. That's all he is just a salesman for this company.
When the reel came out, it was a nice little speech he gave him outside the orgy. Yeah, it's later on, like I said, but... This is a fucking movie. Anyways.
So he moves up the corporate ladder. He's doing a really great job, and he tells him, he's like, "Hey man, the higher ups are really talking about you, and they invited you to a party." And
oh yeah, his people have went on strike too. And at first he went on strike with them, but then the managers bring him into the office, and they close the blinds, and they're like, he's like, "Y'all are firing me, aren't you? I knew you were gonna fucking fire me. I'm your best salesman. You're gonna fucking fire me." "Nah, man. Big league's called. You're going up."
Yeah.
And they pop a bottle of champagne, and they're like, "Fucking drink it, man. That's yours. You know, like, you're one of us now," and shit. Like, so he just starts fucking chugging it, and he's all happy and shit. And then that's when he helps his uncle out and all them or whatever. But
yeah, he moves up in the world, and then that's what I was talking about earlier. They're protesting and strike. And
well,
stuff
it gets
like
into like violent protests and shit too.
Oh, most
like
definitely.
as it's going, you know, because the first day he goes to like some Japanese company and turns like a shit ton of Japanese people into this workplace.
Yeah, because
Army Hammer's company is
they sell slave labor.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is pretty crazy if you think about it, because
how many people would sign up for that though, for real? Because like,
but that's the thing,
homeless people, whatnot.
Terry Crews, he says, "I'm down on my luck. I can't make rent. You know, they gave me a brochure to this. What is it called?
Worry free.
Worry free.
Yeah.
They gave me a pamphlet for this worry free place. It doesn't sound too bad. Three
hots in a cot. That's what we used to say.
Exactly, and that's scary to think about, because I can see our world going to something like that.
Yeah. That's what that was. I was going to mention that later, but yeah, that is some shit that fuck probably happens in some places. You know what I mean? I have nightmares about that, bro. Like where we work, but they build these condos for our families and like a school for our kids to go to, and like we never leave this compound.
Yep,
everything's there, bro. They throw us a big version of that, you know.
We actually get free lunches at our work. Like, it's starting.
Yeah, dude, and like they're chicken. Anyways,
but yeah, that's one thing that really scares me. Yeah.
And I thought that was cool about the movie. I didn't take that away from it. I enjoyed that part of it because, it's like I said, it's still within the first hour. Train's still on the tracks.
Yep.
And then we go to the party.
He goes to the party.
Completely sells out as people are getting their ass beat, trying to keep these people from going into work, because the power callers are the only ones working, because they're the only ones making money.
Right.
And they're the only ones agreeing to sell the worry-free lifestyle. So he's making shit tons of money, but like his girlfriend's turned her back on him. She's like, "If you go to work today, I can't be with you anymore."
Right, because she's
You've sold your soul. Like, I can't be with you anymore.
Exactly, because she's against what he's.
And she's the whole time. She's like the Robin Hood. You know what I mean? Like, she's like the rebellion. You know what I mean? Trying to stop him.
Right.
With our art and stuff like that.
But that's a thing to think about too. Like, take someone that comes from a low income, neighborhood, and then tell them like, "Hey, we're going to give you a bunch of money, but you have to do this thing that goes against your morals and values."
Yeah, and some people would say like, "Wow, that shows a lot about their principles." That says a lot about them.
But when you grew up with
nothing,
and someone's offering you, let's say, $1 million a year, like, but you got to do against your morals and values, would you do it? It's kind of hard.
Fuck those morals, bro. We're getting paid. I've already told you this. We've had this conversation. We are getting fucking paid, son. So I'll sign your fucking name for you. Like,
right.
We are getting paid. But anyways, yeah.
So that's his like struggle. Is it's like he came from nothing, and they're offering him all this money. He offering him a life he didn't think possible.
Right.
So anyway, he's at the party.
Yeah, he goes to her party because she has an art gallery opening the same night. He goes to that first because he's trying to like win her back.
Oh, this is an important part of the movie that I noticed the second time around. So he goes to the art gallery, and she starts the protest. What do you call it?
Art exhibit.
Art exhibit, but she's also putting on a performance.
Right. It was like
It was a weird performance, and the first time I watched it, I'm like, I don't understand this performance. And the second time I realized you're not supposed to, because you're seeing the performance from his eyes. He's lost sight of what she stands for. So what she's doing doesn't make sense to him. That's why it doesn't make sense to us either. That's why he's like, stop.
I thought the hitting her with cell phones was a bit much. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
It's like absurdist. It's kind of like
they're hit her with empty bullet casings and lamb's blood, which was nasty as shit. Like she didn't have nothing over her mouth.
mhm.
Can't smell good. You know?
That's why I'm saying like it doesn't make sense
Right.
because we're supposed to see it from his eyes. Like
Because she was saying some mineral in cell phones can only be found in the Congo, and people get killed for it every day, so
Mhm.
it can be sold to make phones for everybody. Which,
Yeah.
if that's true, that's fucked up, right?
I know,
Like,
right?
you know, I just assumed they came from Japan.
Mhm. So he
Didn't know
tries to,
anybody was getting killed for that shit.
right, blood diamonds.
Right, for real, bro. Like we're holding blood diamonds in our hands.
So he tries to stop the performance because he doesn't like get it. All he sees is
She's
she
like,
being pelted.
She's like, you just don't even know. You know,
Mhm.
she's like, you're so focused on that bullshit that you can't see what's really going on.
Right, and it got me thinking about those protesters that like chain themselves to trees.
Mm.
Like they're standing for something. They're standing for like keeping life on Earth. Stop destroying life. But some people just see a crazy person chained to a tree.
I mean, there's certain things like, you know, fighting for rainforest, because I mean they real deal just chopped down a shit ton of the rainforest.
Mm-hmm.
For what? You know, what are they gonna build there? Another fucking mall, whatever. I don't
Exactly.
know. You know what I mean?
But you know, there are those people out there that are like that don't see it like that.
Yeah,
They
I
just
get
see
it.
some crazy person trying to stop.
Well, I mean, because at the end of the day, like even if you save that one tree, like you got the moral victory, but they're still gonna knock down everything around you.
Right.
So what I mean, like, but
Mm-hmm.
and then that's where you get into the whole thing, you know, people that don't care about this planet versus people that do, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a good little thing that she did for that.
Right.
And now is where the fucking train was supposed to go left and takes a fucking right. He goes to the party,
Yep.
which Army Hammer is throwing. He's a
Mhm.
billionaire. And it starts off, this is one of the greatest intros to a character you'll ever fucking see, because this is the first time you see him in actual person in the movie. Before, it's just you see him on like a TV interview, and, you know, he's just supposed to be some rich asshole.
Right.
You know? He starts it off with the longest line of coke you've ever seen in your life. Like, I mean, it's not a bump, bro. It's a fucking rail. And it's a good 12 inches. And he just goes to work. One nostril, bro. Doesn't switch, doesn't stop breathing. Clears it. You're probably all wondering why I called you this meeting. And it's a fucking just like raging party.
Yep.
Like he's turned this mansion into like a fucking rave. People are just like cheering him and shit.
Yeah, another little commentary is he's a billionaire, he's the owner of this company, but he seems like the cool guy,
Right.
like a relatable boss or whatever. He's trying to be your best friend.
I'm
Before
gonna give you everything you ever wanted because you're giving me something I need.
right, and we talk like back in the day when you saw someone successful, they look like Warren Buffett.
Right.
Just some guy in a suit and a tie that talks super proper. But times are changing and people are trying to change with it. So they're trying to be like little hipsters to relate to their workers so they feel more comfortable. Kind of like Elon Musk and stuff like that.
Even though I was born with this shit, I would have got it if I was like you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like that's the cockiness they have. Like, yeah, I might have been born with $100 million, but I would have got 100 million anyways. You know what I mean? Something like that. But this guy's obviously bigger than that. But
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to
because
comment
he
on
starts
that.
off doing the white voice, and then eventually like they get more fucked up, and he's like, "Man, stop that shit. Talk how you really talk.
Yeah.
Show me some of that. You're from Oakland, right?" He's like, he knows everything about him, which is, you know, really creepy. But the guy with that kind of power, he's going to give me some of that gangster shit. You ever pop a cap in somebody's ass? You know, he starts off. They come in the room, and he's got like a fucking horde of bad bitches just laying all over him.
Yeah, it's to show that
He's got everything you
money.
want.
Well,
you know?
money is sexy.
Yeah. That's
Like being power is sexy and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that movie was a fucking, or that whole scene was just insane. But like Army Hammer, like I said, like that's probably the one movie I never would have guessed he'd have been in,
No, definitely not.
because they don't put him in the promotion really. I don't think
Mm-mm.
like nothing like that. But he plays a great fucking crazy asshole, you know. Anyways, he starts the story off talking about he kills some fucking rhino with an AK-47 in Africa. He's like, put that motherfucker as a trophy.
Yeah.
And it's like got bullet holes all
Stitched
through
together.
it.
Yeah.
He blew most of it away. And he makes him rap, which is very humiliating, you know, because he's like, you're black, so you got to be able to rap. You're from Oakland. Rap,
Yeah.
you know?
It's kind of the contrast. Like you have to put on this face to be successful, but you also are put in this box of people thinking stereotypes, basically. Like all black people can rap. All people from like certain areas can just do these
like I said, a lot on social commentary in this movie. There's a lot of themes. Like I said, some I caught, some I probably won't. You know what I mean? But I just watched it. Yeah, and definitely. So the party goes on, and he's sitting in a chair, and it's like, I don't know. I thought it was a great shot. It pans out, and he's sitting in this fucking beautiful mansion in this room, and as it pans out even more, there's people just fucking everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like this guy's reached the top of what he thinks is success and like what's important.
Mm-hmm.
And he just looks like he couldn't be any more alone, like any more unhappy.
Right, because
it's like money can't buy you happiness.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit, but let me try it. Just let me try it for a
let me figure it out on my own.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't really give an opinion until you have both sides. You know? But anyways, like, so yeah, he the other guy comes out, left eye, the one with the patch, the one you don't know his name.
Yeah.
And
that's a good name, Left Eye Patch.
Yeah. Nick Fury. That's pretty much, you know.
So Nick Fury comes
out, and this was like, I thought this was his best part right here. He comes out and he just drops, because you don't hear his real voice the entire time. He stays in, the white voice there.
Right.
And he just comes out and he's like, look, man, you got a chance, bro. This man wants you to go down the hall, take a right, go down another hall, and it's a jade door. This is their moment. This could be big for us. Don't fuck this up. Don't do that thing you do where you fuck this up.
Yeah.
Listen to what this man's got to say. So he goes down there. It's like a long-ass hallway, dude. This place, I don't know who the fuck made it. It's crazy as shit. It's
yeah,
like
they painted all the doors like different shades of green.
Yeah, that was insane, too. And then the one door he's supposed to go in is like purple. Like, the place was really like a labyrinth. But anyways, like, he goes in. Armie Hammer's fucked gone out of his mind, and he's like, you're my man. He's like, you get this line right here, and it's like a big swirl, you know?
On what, though?
On a horse plate.
Yep.
Fucking a horse plate.
Mr. Bobo.
Wow. That's the line. Starts telling him, I want you to come work for Worry Free. I want you to be my guy inside, you know? You got that hunger. You got what I see, you know? I want you to watch this quick video with me real quick.
No. Is it the video first?
He's like, I want to watch the video together, and then I want to make you a proposal. So he's like, I don't want to watch no fucking video, man. I want to talk about numbers. I want to talk about commas. I want to talk about me getting paid. And he's like, we're going to do all that after we watch the video. He's like, well, I got to piss.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, let's watch the video, then you go take a piss. He's like, nah, man, like, all right. You start watching it for a second. He's like, nah, man, I really got to go piss. Like, all right, you're going to turn 2 doors. It's the, what does he call it?
No, he calls it the I think
emerald
it's the
door.
Olive door, jade door. It's a different shade of green. There's so many that they talk about.
Anyways, he goes in. It's one stall. It's this long ass, what you think is like this old ass bathroom, but it's really a fucking trough. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's I don't know. You keep animals, something in there, whatever.
Yeah.
And the door's locked from the outside, which is really fucking creepy. And this tall motherfucker, big, you could tell it's a big person inside the stall. He's like, hey, man, you gonna be long? I gotta piss like a motherfucker. And he's like, help me. Nah, man, I'm good. Like, you're good, man. Just do your thing, and I'll be out here. And please, it hurts. Like, please help me. And he's like, he just starts crying and shit. And then and this is where the train's off, guys. This is where it fucking just goes sideways.
So the door opens up, and what falls out?
A fucking horseman. BoJack Horseman falls out of this fucking thing. This is a Netflix fucking show. Like, falls out, man, and he of course freaks out. I'm thinking it's the drugs or something. Like,
yeah, you think he's tripping?
You know what I mean? And then he looks over, and there's more behind the fucking curtain because he's freaking out. And there's more behind the curtain. There's like 4 of them in there, and they're like, "Help us, help us, come out!" I'm just like, "What the fuck is going on right now?" Fuck you, Greg. What is going on right now? I almost pause these things and call you to be like, "Why, bro?" Anyways. Go back in, dude. He, of course, Armie Hammer finds him, and which another thing I noticed at the party, he's got that fucking horsewhip, and he keeps hitting everybody with it.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, that was crazy. I just thought about that right now, man. Because he hits him with it a couple times, and he's like, "You're the man. You're the fucking man." And he's like, "All right, that hurt, bitch, but all right, thanks." Like, you know, because we're partying and shit, but chill, like with the horsewhip, you know. You just think he's some rich asshole that just got done riding a thoroughbred, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and there, here we are. He's freaking, I gotta get the fuck out of here. He's like, I told you to go to the jade door. He's like, I went to the fucking jade door. He's like, that's clearly olive. That's clearly an olive door.
Right.
He's like, come on, man. That's why we gotta watch the video. You can't leave yet. You're gonna think I'm fucking crazy. I'm not crazy. Like, come watch the video.
It'll all make sense.
It'll all make sense, man. Don't worry about that. Don't even worry about that. He's like, you still got to piss? He's like, no, I pissed myself. Like, I'm fucking afraid for my life. So they sit down and watch the video. And he's literally just explaining how humans can't do the back-breaking labor that's required of them to do it, to never stop, you know?
Yep.
And they're turning people into horse people.
Yeah,
they're stronger and they're not as smart. It's like pretty much taking you back to a caveman or some shit, really.
Yeah, they make them snort some substance, and 70% of people turn into horses.
Yeah, it works. It works. So then, of course, halfway through the video, he's freaking out. You motherfucker, that wasn't coke. That wasn't fucking coke. He's like, dude, who do you think I am? I would never give you that shit without you knowing.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Watch the rest of the video. He just keeps telling him to watch the rest of the video, and he's like, I'm fucking freaking out. He's like, I'm not even high. And he's like, it's because the adrenaline pumping through your veins right now.
Yeah.
Calm down, man. That was 100% Peruvian. They got fucking horses in Peru. That shit was hilarious, bro. Like, it's so insane. Because now I know that it wasn't the drugs, it wasn't this. This is literally where they're taking this fucking movie, dude. So, of course, they finish the video, and he's like, I want you to be the Martin Luther King Jr. This is fuck out. It's just even fucked up just saying it. Of the horse people. 5 years, I'm going to give you $100 million.
No, I need to talk to you about this because you've done the $1 million thing to me for a while.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
It's $100 million.
To be a horseman for 5 years, bro.
But the thing is, he talks some kind of sauce that they take, and it turns them back into a normal person.
We'll give you the antidote wicked sauce, man. And fucking clear you right up, dude. Take you back to normal. He's like, that shit sounds made up. Like, you just fucking made it up.
So this could be real.
If it was guaranteed, bro, that I could come back, yeah, you know I'm doing it.
Oh, yeah. 5 years as a horse.
Like, and then, like, Armie Hammer, this was the greatest part of the whole thing. He's like, no, before you say anything else, you're going to have a horse cock, bro. I thought that was fucking bananas. I died laughing. And I was like, well, I guess it's not all bad. And then it cuts from that because he finally lets him go after he says, he's like, take a couple days, think about being the fucking Martin Luther King of horse people.
Go sleep on it.
You know what I mean? And he's like, I'm about to have millions of these fucking things. You know, and I want you to be the leader of them, but work for me. You know, so I can keep them impressed. I can keep them working. So first it cuts to him showing his dick to his ex-girlfriend now because
they broke up. Yeah,
and she started messing with his friend. You know, the guy from work.
Well, that speaks too because she's uninterested in him because he's moving up this corporate ladder. He's losing his identity.
But this guy joined the fight with her.
Right, the guy from Walking Dead. Can't remember his name.
Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn from Walking Dead.
I didn't know that was who he was, like, because I didn't watch Walking Dead. Just Supercuts.
Apparently, because you knew his name. But she's attracted to him because he stands for something.
I just know that there's like 3 or 4 names that when you mention them around people that love Walking Dead, they're like, oh man, they shouldn't have killed him.
Sidebar, I watched the trailer for the new Walking Dead season and it looks fucking awful.
Does it?
I can't believe that's still going on.
The last thing I saw is like there were people wearing the zombie skin and were like hoarding them, like hurting them. Like
I stopped like 3 or 4 seasons ago, but anyway.
Yeah.
So he's showing his dick to everybody.
He's showing his dick to his girl, and she's like, no, that's not it. And Morg explains it. She's like, you could have just showed me your nostrils.
Right.
And he's like, what nostrils? He's like doing like this, like flaring them real bad. She's like, you're doing it on purpose. And he starts freaking out because like he just saw some crazy fucking shit.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, and she's like, I'm glad you're feeling yourself, but because you gave me the booty call at 3 o'clock last night. He's like, that wasn't me. So she checks her phone.
And he dropped his phone during the whole horseman debacle.
Right.
and they record a message like, "Please help us, we're in pain. That we're being mistreated and shit." Like they turned you into a fucking horse, man. Of course you're being mistreated.
Yeah.
And then Army Hammer comes in like the rich asshole, like, "I will fucking turn you into glue, you beautiful fucked up creatures," like something like that. It's fucking hilarious but fucked up at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's where the video cuts off. And he puts it out, and the company gets even bigger. More people are signing up. Like,
before that, though, there's a interesting commentary. There's one show that's playing everywhere. It's like...
oh, yeah, because he gets hit in the head with a full Coke. Full can of Coke.
That becomes like a meme, and that's all he sees is this meme, and that kind of speaks to our culture, too. Like, we memify the most ridiculous things.
Yeah.
And, but no, the show...
wigs and shit.
But the show, it's like I get beat up or
beat the shit out of me.
Yeah. And that speaks to our society. Like YouTube is so big, but some of the biggest YouTubers are people that just humiliate themselves.
They take pain or whatever, jackass.
Exactly.
Whatever.
They're just, and that's what we find entertaining. Our society finds entertaining because that has the most views on YouTube. So that's what he's trying to do. But he gets the video out, not going to the news because nobody really watches the news anymore. He has to go on this show because that's what everyone's watching.
And he has to like let the three guys beat the shit out of him, and then he had to go sit in a shit tank.
Yep.
Which I thought was, like great imagery, but like a little too much for me.
Yeah, it was kind of
They
nasty.
literally cover him in every inch of his body except his eyes and his mouth with shit. Well, I guess it's not real shit, obviously.
It's not real, but
it looks real
to
enough
think
for me.
Yeah.
If it was, you're fucking disgusting. You know what I mean?
All I was thinking is like, it's getting in your mouth.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's probably oatmeal or whatever, but like, yeah. If that was, you're definitely tasting shit.
Right. So he's like, play my video, and then he shows the world.
Dude, he doesn't even like fight back. He's just like, "Can you please play my video now? You said you'd play it."
Yep. So like you said, they play the video,
They play the horse video.
And they're like, their biological achievements makes the company skyrocket.
Army Hammer's just fucking popping champagne, like, "I'm still rich, motherfucker." Yeah. So then he joins the fight, and they think that if they could break these power callers from getting into the building, that'll stop the cycle. People will stop going, and we'll be able to get these people some help. But while all this is going on, he's got like his own little secret plan. He goes and watches these people type in these long ass codes. They have one for the elevator, here, there, everywhere's got one of these fucking things.
Right.
And they start the riot. They stop the brigade of because they got like riot police type of dudes, like private security, I'm guessing.
Well, they had regular like breakup, organized protest, right. But when it gets out of hand, when they realize they don't have control of the situation anymore, they bring in the fucking SWAT team, and that kind of speaks to like especially what's going on over in Hong Kong, like these like intense, like almost like wars against these people, and it's kind of sad. Like you can't have protests anymore without getting the shit kicked out of you.
Peaceful protests, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, they call in the SWAT team. They start taking people out. He gets his face knocked in. He wakes up inside of a truck, and he can't really see what's going on.
Right. And then the next thing you know, the horsemen come in, like the cavalry, dude.
Yep.
Saving the day.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them breaks him out of the jail thing. It's like I said, I'm completely fucking in shock and like, what the fuck right now?
You know who the voice was?
No, I couldn't make out the black guy.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. Wow. That's insane. What was he doing on a fucking Tuesday?
Right.
You want me to do what? Yeah, fuck it, bro. I ain't got nothing else going on. I'll go be a horseman for you for a day.
He speaks to him like he's an alien. He's like, hey, I'm from Oakland. Talk normal.
We come in peace. Thank you for saving us. I'm from East Oakland, bro. Talk normal. And he's like, thanks for freeing us, because that's what he was doing, watching them people. He went and freed all the horse guys to come beat the shit out of the armed guards, and they stopped and they saved the day, kind of, I guess.
And that's funny to think about too. Like, you're creating these slave superhumans. Don't you think they're gonna fucking rebel and take you out because they're 10 times stronger than you are?
That's what they needed him for, right? Like, he was supposed to be the link.
Yeah, he was supposed to keep them in line, kind of thing.
Right, and which I thought, like, even after as wild as this shit is, man, he goes back to living in his uncle's garage, but he kept all the nice shit that was in his apartment.
Right.
He's like, I couldn't go back to living just like how I was, And he's like, I'm going to go back to being a normal telemarketer just like y'all or whatever.
But he still wants to fight the fight of getting paid a livable wage.
And then he does like this, and his girl's like, what's wrong? And he turns, and his fucking nose is turning into a horse nose.
Yep.
And it goes to
credits.
And you're like, what the fuck, dude? And then it does the little clip where Armie Hammer is just chilling on his couch watching TV. And you hear a fucking thing at the security door, and he pulls up on the screen, and it's like, what's up? I'm Cash from Oakley's Oakland. I'm here to give you your fucking ass whooping. Sorry to bother you. And then the camera goes off, and then it just hears the security alarm break in, and you see him come in the thing, and he's like, it was fucking intense. But like, I was just like, what the fuck, dude? Not even a happy ending at the end, man. So like, I don't know, man. This movie is all over the place for me. Like, it's just what the fuck.
I love the social and
like
capitalism.
I said, I was there, and like, I guess it's like they were trying to like do it in such a crazy ass way that you had to like take notice. But I don't know, man. Like that part, I felt like could have been left out, and it still could have been a good movie. You could have done a different third act.
Well, that's what makes it absurdist. Like, there's a bunch of like taking it to the extreme. I usually don't like.
I don't know what this movie made or anything, but like, I guarantee if they'd put any of that horse shit in the trailer, nobody would have went to fucking see that shit.
It only cost $3 million to make. I was surprised about that.
Really?
Yeah, it actually grossed. I want to say, $18 million.
Which is nothing, really.
Not really, but it's an indie film. But it has a cult following now.
Oh, I think imagine. It's like, I mean, like I said, there are a lot of good messages and a lot of like, awareness.
That's my thing about absurd comedy. I don't like absurd comedy that doesn't have a point. It's just ridiculous for the sake of ridiculousness, kind of like the show that's in the movie.
Because there was good parts to that whole movie that I was like, man, this could be a really great movie, and then like it just goes off.
It's a really great movie.
Like I said, it just goes off the rails. No, I mean, like I said, like, I don't know. I just didn't like the way it was interpreted, I guess.
Right. I think he was trying to speak to the Alex Jones thing, like how Alex Jones goes off about the
they're fucking putting
animal
shit
human
in the chicken nuggets and shit like that.
Well, he's talking about over in China they're making animal human hybrids right now, and I think this movie was trying to speak on that with the horse people.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty dense with social commentary.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. It just threw me for like a super loop, I guess.
So, would you watch it again?
Not all the way through.
Right before he gets to the jade door, like, all right, I'm good.
See, that's the thing about it. Like, I hate the movie after that, but that fucking scene between him and Armie Hammer is so fucking funny.
It is.
It's so fucking crazy and like ridiculous that it's just hilarious to me. It was probably my favorite part of the whole movie. He's just calmly like, bro, calm down. Watch the rest of the video. It's going to make sense. You're going to see I'm not evil. I'm not a monster. Like, you're just rationalizing the fuck out of it. Like, that was 100% Peruvian, bro. I'm telling you. You just don't feel it because you're adrenaline. Calm down. Would never. What do I look like? It was the funniest part of the whole fucking movie. But out of the rank, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst.
Why is 1 the worst?
Why is 1 the worst?
Why do you do it that way?
I don't know, man, because I feel like, 10 is a big thing, like dimes. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It's just like your whole life, you rate shit 1 to 10.
All right.
How's that chick look? She's about a 4.
Fair enough. I'm
car. What's your car? It's a 6. It's a car.
So
I'm gonna give this movie. I'm gonna give it a 5.
A 5?
I'd take it or leave it.
That's fair.
Because like I said, other than a couple parts, nothing was in it that was so funny that I just would have to go back and watch again. But I would pull it up on YouTube to watch that clip. You know what I mean? So I gave it a 5. And I didn't hate it. Like, the ending of it kind of fucking threw me, and I was just like, all right, whatever. But it wasn't the worst movie I've ever watched.
Yeah. I give it a bolt thrower.
Yeah. What is that again?
It's like a 2.
Ah, okay.
It's not like my favorite movie ever, but I do love this movie a lot.
I had no idea that you had such a passion for it, and now watching it, you know, because I know the kind of movies that you're into,
Mm-hmm.
it makes sense. You know what I mean?
I was gonna save it for later, but you were like, "I want to watch it. I want to watch it." So
because I mean, it was a recent movie. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And some of the movies that we watch have come out for a while. You know what I mean? So I was, you know, I was like, oh, this is a newer one. I'll probably enjoy it. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I give it. So
Oh yeah.
not the best, but not the worst pick ever.
All right. Well, now we have to talk about the fucking movie that you gave me called Miss March.
Yeah, man, I know you're gonna be harsh about it, but I just want to say that I told you it wasn't a fucking movie you were gonna take a message from, but we'll talk about it anyways, bro.
All right. See you then.
Later.